Hello guys, welcome to Nifty Alpha Trader. After a long time I have finally got some time. I was moving from Hyderabad to Bangalore and now I am here, and today I am going to do a session basically on all the preparation which is going on in the trade. So I have not taken very aggressive trades, slow and moderate trades. Now let's get started, and I don't want to waste my time. So a quick disclaimer that I am not a severely restricted trader, so be aware of all the fake gurus who are teaching. Even whatever I am doing is not explaining you, and I'm not going to give you any tuition or any kind of free advice, but what I'm doing is a vlog for myself, and to record it is much easier for me to record than write notes on everything to keep a track of it. I have not done it so far, but I am thinking to start it back again. So let's get started with that. So I'm going to share my display. Now coming to this one, so these are the things which I have listed down in the group chat, and then I'm going one by one. That is, first is bear screener, which I have found that the volume is being reduced here. So AUROPHARMA is one of the pick which I have taken, and I've already started this. So in AUROPHARMA, what is happening with AUROPHARMA? Technically, if you are seeing this, okay, I'll zoom in. So what you're seeing here is basically a short build-up which is happening. Overall, there was short covering, but in the past 5 days, if you're seeing, there was a good IO build-up in the overall futures market, and there was a short build-up for continuously 2 days. And now what's happening here is, if you see the previous short build-ups, there was huge short build-up that is over here, that is in 672. And if we see the charts also, let's go to charts and see also. So now what we see here is a chart of AUROPHARMA, and what's happening here is it is in a down trend. So technically it has to go down, but here is a trend line which we can extend it to, and see if this is a daily chart. If I'm taking weekly, then extend it. So it is basically in a downtrend, right? And now this is a trigger where the short covering has happened, so which is basically indicating that it can stop here. But since the volume is not there, so this is what the volume signal which I've got. So now if you are seeing, looking here, once the volume has reduced, whoever has taken this up has hedged the positions, might release these positions, and it might turn bearish, is one of the two. So if we are going to take a trade here, it might be more like a bearish neutral trade rather than being aggressively bullish. So more towards the bear rather than bull. So now let's check out. So if I'm taking a picture and going to, so let me write this down. So if you are seeing here, there is a short build-up which is bearish, and this is neutral. And if you are seeing continuous short build-ups which were aggressive, the day the shorting build-up has happened, immediately the next day the volume OI change was reduced. The same thing, but if you are seeing here, the volume didn't go the same way. So this is giving a neutrality, but the price which you are seeing has dropped to 2%. So I guess the volume, if you are seeing here, the volume was there, and people are basically taking these positions. So if you are seeing the range here also in trading view. Let's go to the charts and see them. If you had seen the charts, so this was the positions. Whoever has shorted have exited, and they're not going with that position anymore. At the same time, if you're seeing long build up, whoever has taken this position are long enough and they are sticking to this. And if you're seeing the OI build up which has happened in this future, there is a huge OI build up which it is suggesting. Where did that happen? It was here, which was again a short build up, and here there was a long build up. So what we can see is this is a range, that is 700 to 750 is what I am thinking. So basically bearish, but not so bearish. This is neutral bearish trade. So I'll write this as this. So it is neutral bearish. Now this is future OI. Now let's go to AUROPHARMA. If you are seeing, there is a new build up which is happening here. Even put options, there is some good puts which are being written here today. And if we go to here, the last week to this week, there is a huge OI build up in 700 as well as 710. And before that, let's go a week back, and again there was a huge OI build up happening here, which these are not existing right now. If you're seeing 750 is there, but 730 and everything, they have removed it, and it is only the other part. Now when we are going with the other week, again here the 700 has stood up as a big resistance line, so we can make 700 as a good resistance here. And now coming to the max pain is at 700. So if 700 is crossed, there will be a huge impact on the option writers. So overall, we are seeing neutral bearishness here, as well as this one is somewhat good bearish, and till it is bearish till 670, and then it can be impacted. There are other things also to look at, but these are the things which we are looking for a quick review. And if I'll go in much detail, but I'm not going to make a video around that in this one. But let me first check whether I'm sharing you that screen. Yes, I'm sharing it. Now going to second one, which is COFORGE. So we are just checking whether it is being tallied with the data which we are seeing right now. So now coming to COFORGE also I'll open the chart. So COFORGE is bearish. Here in the charts it is looking extremely bearish, and if you see this one, here also it looks clearly bearish. So if you see COFORGE, the build-up is clearly bearish, and there is short build-up which is happening with a good price change, and also there was a short build-up even here which happened. So people are looking to cover that now, but still there is a lot. So the move has happened already. So this move might end or might start a new bearish move. Let's see whether that might happen or not, because it is right now in the support zone of this one, but right now in the support zone. So if this is breaking, it will start a new move again. So this is the thought. So if it breaks here again, it will be. So I'm explaining both in futures as well as technical. So it has to break this line, 4100 level, to sustain that. But ultimately, if you are seeing the futures, the coverage, if you are seeing short coverage, it is negligible compared to the build-ups which has happened here. The long unwindings happened here, and if you are seeing the build-up impact of OI, where is short build up? This is also negligible. This was huge, but immediately the next day everyone has crossed this, that is, and again there was a short build up which was not with a huge quantity, again a short build up but not a huge quantity. So this might not be an appropriate trade to go with. So COFORGE, not going with COFORGE. The next one is rain. Okay. So if you are seeing rain also has a huge short build up here, yet the long build up is also really very good. So it is more like a bullish trade, but after that, the unwinding has happened. Clearly the long unwinding is happening so far, but since this was a good price where long build up, or let's say if it was short build up, overall is looking bearish since last 10 sessions, that is. And if you're seeing the OI build up, even the recent OI changes, right, it is being depleted now. So it might be in a good price range where people will start accumulating. So if you're seeing short building has started and now the long unwinding is happening, so the price has decreased, and whoever shorted this position are also decreasing their positions, and whoever has longed also are it might have come to their point where they are exiting the market. So it is basically in a good price range, seems like that, but let's see. So this might be a good support or resistance point, so we have to see the chart here and then analyze by that. Let's see rain. So if we are seeing rain has broken the support line here, and now it is going to a new support zone, which is here. So what we can do is not go with a huge can't have complete bearish view here, because the stock has been volatile since many days. If you see the spikes which have formed, this is not what option writer has to see, and this is not what option writers are seeing. So this change is a huge change which needs a clear view or directional view for a long term. If you're seeing, it was 24% move within up and down move within a few 2 expiries, right? If you can't sustain this, if you don't have a margin for this, it is extremely hard to manage this without stop losses and anything else. It is extremely hard to sustain these kind of moves. So be prepared if you're taking any view on this. So I am not going to take a view, but what I would suggest is from my side I would be sticking to this range right now. It is this one, this range right here. So 210 to 271. So I am predicting that it is going to go down, but market doesn't move according to me. Then the next one is rain is done. So we are predicting it to be somewhere here in between these ranges, but exit if it is not in these ranges, or have a stop loss if you have a view. So if someone is having a short position, it can be something like this with the stop loss of this and target of this, and other way around also in futures. Now coming to the next trade, which is rain is done, IDFC. Okay, IDFC is basically here, when I'm seeing this, it is suggesting completely bullish view, but the volume says it's bearish. Let's see what's going wrong with IDFC. So here it is bearish. So if you're seeing what's happening here is there is earning session, so there is volatility here. So until the last day, few days before expiry, there will be huge volatility, but it looks like there is huge OI changes in short buildup. This gives the entire view that is short buildup. And now where should we look for, and what would the range be? The range would be starting from 66, which is where is this one, 67.6, and there is another long build-up which is this range, but I guess this has been broken long ago. Now, so what happens is this becomes a resistance, and where will we have a nearby support is here, that is 60.45, but I think even that can be broken. Since they are giving dividends, the future prices are below this, so be cautious about that when you're dealing with futures. So it should be somewhere. So the dividends are 1 rupee. So when we are looking here, it can be exactly here or somewhere. Let's see. But overall prediction should be bearish, and because it's earning, it will be volatile, not to enter, not a good recommendation or anything. So we're going to do this. The next one will be this one. Let me check if someone has asked any questions. No one has any questions. Great. Now coming to this one, okay, ESCORTS has already gone down a lot, so there will be a contra play, or since it has broken here, let's see if ESCORTS is so the shorting, there's only short covering. So I guess there was a long build-up here, but ultimately it is always a short build-up which happened here, and still they are unwinding that. So it's got RBC March 25th. Where is March 25th? What happened to this? Okay, the futures have fallen down drastically even before this. I don't know this scenario. I'll have to research more about this. So the price of the futures was given at a discount for some time. Good. So this was already predicted. So this might have in-depth many more things rather than simple technicals and analysis. So let's see. Let's go to the next one. Oh, cool. Long build up here. This is a long build up position we are looking, and this is a short position, and the short build up is here. because the OI changes are really good, and even the momentum is still continuing, so this is a good short position to have. And again, changes were good. The price was not so they were not so fast at dumping it, but ultimately what's happening is we are doing a position here that is from from 1050 to 1125 is the range. So let's go to CUMMINSIND. So it has started, this fall has started, and there is aggressive shorting here. So I guess this might clearly break and it might fall. So if it is a free fall, then what we can do is basically think this as a main destination, the next destination. If it falls further and faster, it is better to have this trade. But based on that, what can the strategy be? Is so overall clearly indicates bearishness. This is bullish, but ultimately, since this long things are being unwinded here with a huge volumes here, and if you're seeing even the short build-ups are happening, we should go with this rather than these huge OA build-ups. So if you're seeing this entire changes here, all these mostly are unwindings and going up from the stock. So here if you're seeing, they were all short coverings only. So now they're clearly making a view where it is being short. So since this is showing bullishness, I'll write it as bullish, and the remaining things are basically bearish. So the views here, what I'm getting is clearly bearish. Even if you're seeing here, it is bearish. So it has to be bearish from this view. But always it is not about just futures, it's also about options and how things are. So CUMMINS looks like a good trade in terms of future OI. It is clearer than others, so I say this. Now going to the option chain. So what happens if someone shorts is they are going to take the position counter position for that. So let's say if I'm shorting, I will also take a puts against it, or I'll just buy the puts for that. So coming to, okay, this is not a good view. So in the last, they're shorting the money calls. So I'm going to today and today itself. So if you're seeing, there's huge build-ups here at 1140, and we are going other way around before that also. So 1140 is a clear resistance which we are seeing, but the VIX, since the VIX is fine right now, we can take these positions, but let's see what kind of strategies we can do here. Since we are predicting 940, 960 as a base, so what I can basically do, but strict reminder, these are illiquid options, so you have to be extremely careful in implementing these. So if you're seeing these also, the bid ask will differ a lot, and this is illiquidity, so 1 rupee difference is there between this. Price is 600, so you'll be losing, let's imagine if you don't get the position, you'll lose 600 in all the sides. Here it's also greater than that, so you'll be losing 1200 if you want to exit out of here, right? So these are all the things which you have to observe before taking even the trade. So now, as the view is downside here, if it's moving aggressively down, it is going to go and hit these marks. So the prediction is not here because we don't have, if you're seeing humans here, this was supposed to be a support, but this was broken here. So if you see this one now, there's no more support. There is no support at all apart from 1000, right? There are some puts, but even today if you're seeing, the puts were bought back. So this gives an indication that people even with this low price are afraid to basically trade here, and they have cleared these positions. And usually what if futures players want hedge, what they do is they write these options as a hedge on if it has a sudden upmove, right? So they might be taking these positions, few of this position, but since this is clear, most of the picture might be these are like a clear directional view, that is, it is going to go down. So yeah, here Cummins is a good trade. Then HCLTECH. Now before going here, let's see HCLTECH here. HCLTECH, the only tech company which I like is HCLTECH. There's huge short build up, and even short build up here is extremely clear. The OI changes are clear, short position, short and shorting. Everywhere there is shorting only. Why should one look into HCL, and why are they thinking if it's a good tech company, why should it be shorted? It is because of just one reason for me. Because the valuation given is extremely high, which needs to be shorted. Right? Most of the time, if you're seeing HDL since past 2017, 2016, it was given a good valuation here. The average valuation was at 3.8 or 4 PB ratio. Now it has gone to 5. So it has to come down to at least 4. So this is the hype which tech startups or tech companies get, but again they have to be back at their original and neutralize itself. So I'm thinking it might come back to this, but we are not hoping that it can go back drastically, because people are willing to buy stock if it is available at a good price. Since every tech stock is down, I think even HCL is a good stock which can be shorted. But here there is a clear short, and here the short build up is great, and the price is not gone up, so there is still an opportunity for shorting. So here is your short. Clear bearish. So should we short in futures, or should we short in options? The risk reward always is favorable in options, so I am going to do in options, but let's see what strategies I'm going to do. This is clearly bearish, so that is there. Now counter is let's see the open interest building up, then we'll see everything else. HCLTECH has a good resistance here, support here, and resistance here since last 1 week. But if we go to, let's say, today itself, what has happened since yesterday? these are going down compared to this, but still the upside, if you're seeing, these are really gone, and there is a good build-up which is happening here. In the action is in 1100, and here also, if you're seeing, there are straddles being created at 1100. So this is a good picture which we can play around 1100, but ultimately this is being shorted. So what how we can look at is HCLTECH. See if we can short it here and also this one. There are the most distances here, so this will be aggressive bearishness, but the risk is to reward is not also not favoring to this, because if it moves up, we have to exit the position with a good amount of loss. This trade accounts to a huge loss if we are going like this. So what we can do is something like this. Since it is completely bearish, I will just buy puts or not at all like that. I'm not sure which position it will stop. So if you're taking bearish, you can not, if you're limited to the capital, you can go with this. But ultimately I am not going to buy it, because I'm just going to check how the waters are going to be. So this will be my trade right now, and also going down aggressively, but let's see. But I don't want to basically share on what kind of strategy I'm using, because most of the time the entry should be perfect, but more important than that is how you execute the entire trade. Now coming to HCLTECH, I'm seeing bearishness here. Now going to open interest. Okay, so the max pain is in the top clearly after this one, and here it is, the path is extremely clear for the bearish move. So it can go clearly bearish and it can move all of a sudden. Let's see how it can move. Yeah, it can directly jump to this one and take some support here, and let's see if it breaks. But ultimately it is earnings season, so people are predicting the down move. Let's see, because everything is down. So if it can be down, so but I can't take a trade because it's earnings season. Next one, this is done. CRAMPTON. CRAMPTON is already done, and even here, if you're seeing, there is a huge sharp buildup which is being unwinded here. So if you're seeing, it is becoming neutral. So the momentum of short buildup, the long buildup is there, and that went away. The long buildup went away, so it became neutral. So entire thing is it's rotating around these ones. So if you're seeing CRAMPTON also in this way. So the bearishness is slowly dying, but still there is a good way that it can come down to its original levels. Let's see the fundamentals of this also. Summer should add a good things to CRAMPTON, because CRAMPTON fans are really known for that. So the view would be bullish but not bearish. Let it fall down, and once it breaks the trend line, we can get into this trade again. And if you're seeing the PB, it is decreasing overall, and the stock price is catching up. and if it breaks this trend line, we can enter again. It might be a good price even to enter after some time, not immediately, but if it breaks, it's a great thing that for an investor to invest in. But I am not here again to talk about investments and other things. I'm just here to see and take care of my views. And next is BOSCH. These are all longs, right? These are all bullish things. So CRAMPTON is bullish, but this indicates bearishness and long unwindings and other things. So it clearly indicates. So this small pickup was indicated as bullish. Usually this happens, like small bullish moves create these kind of spikes. If you're seeing here, it was bullish and suddenly this might turn into a breakout. Even now it might consolidate. I'm thinking this is a good consolidation zone, and because this is a support zone, it can break in up in one direction or give up here. So let's look into that positions. CRAMPTON is the second one. BOSCH is supposed to be bullish, but here it looks it is consolidating, and even now, even here, if you're seeing, it has to basically long-term trend is bearish, so we shouldn't be expecting sudden bullish moves here. But let's see how the futures are being written. Okay, not it is basically a neutral trade, not a by this. It is clearly the long buildups are happening, so it is in the zone, so it is not a trade which you can take. And then one is EXIDEIND. I think EXIDEIND also might be something like BOSCH, but there are. This looks good. So if you're seeing here, there is a short buildup and there is long. Where did the long buildups happen? Is here, but these were not so high. So why impact is here? Okay. Here, this was where the entire build-up has taken place. So OI change was not so high, but if you are seeing, the point is these are the days when it crossed 1.2 million in a overall build-up. So this was a continuous build-up which happened. This is when the contracts have been added and the volume has changed. So overall, this is a good change in OI. And it is clearly looking like a long position, and even if you're looking at, so it can be at a good price here as well as here. So let's see the price of EXIDEIND, because EXIDEIND since a long time was undervalued because of Amar Raja, and the entire market of batteries is undervalued right now. Okay. Cool. If you're seeing this is constantly in a downtrend, but since few days that's just picked up. But there was good momentum. This is when the build-up were happening. If you're looking at this right, this is when the build-ups happen, constant build-ups, and then there was extremely small amount of covering and unwinding. If you compare with these, so if you can see, this was the unwinding, but compared to overall volume change was good, and volume was really good. So unwinding has happened, but still it can be at a good price, and we have to think I'll make it as bullish. What we can do is Once it turns bullish again, we can get it back. So it is bearish right now. So once it turns bullish, we can get and ride this trade. Now coming to the options of this one, we'll see the options. Open interest options. This is terrible. So most of the open interests are being created at the upside, that is 160, and the remaining are being created here. There is no open interest here, but let's see it here. Wow. Okay. The chart. So most of them are being created here, and also if you're seeing, there are straddles which are being created here, but this is today. If you're seeing, okay, there were a lot of call up put options which are created here, and even put options written here. Put options written here. Overall, there is put options. Put options are usually not so common in occurring in the money call options. So I'm seeing this. It is somewhat attracting. Let's see. If you're seeing this is beauty to watch. 160 was a straddle which was being created. So the price might also be attracting. Let's move slowly. What's happening from? So the positions were removed. If you are seeing, let's say what happened here. So 160 straddle. Let's just go to today. What happened is they removed 160 put options for straddle. So, but overall it is still there. They are believing still in the bullish move. That is what I'm thinking would happen. So they are. So by this, what I'm thinking is the max pain should be bullish. Yes, it is bullish. May was also same. So basically it is bullish because of this one. Even if you're seeing max pain here, it will be confused. It is basically confused, but overall since max pain is at 160 again, but this entire chart of options here looks messed up. So what options? Let's see. I am thinking exit is a good one to enter long. Which position do we get? 153. So the downside is risky again, because 141 is what we are looking for, but we might not get that position. Okay. And 163 very risky, because it is basically what we are seeking is long position. We are not getting that long positions, and not actually. I mean, this is based on the view. It should be long, and now the price. Let's see strategic chart. If it is, the price has decreased. Overall strategy price has decreased, so it might not be an attractive price to get in now, because the not a good price to enter right now and mess up that trade, because even if you're seeing this looks tempting because it doesn't show the complete graph, but if you're seeing the downside is 2% saving and upside is 6%. The moves are not so common, but let's see how much moves have happened in the past. So if you're seeing this one is in August, and this is a weekly chart again. So I'll go through these charts here, and 22% of moves in last 49 days. This was the move. In 28 days, the move was like 21% down move. If I'm going bullish here, I might fail again. So we have to protect even the downside move, because the entire market is down. So not going in aggressive bullish model. So what we can actually do is remove this and add this one here. And now if we are checking with the delta, this is delta neutral. What we have to go is not with the delta neutral strategy. So what I would do is sell this and okay, buy this, sell this. But again I might not get this price tomorrow, and if you're looking into this, the upside is much riskier than the downside. But and even this is 4%, there is 20% more chance of move. So even now it is not showing the 1% deviations here, so it is much riskier do a chart without proper standard deviations. Coming to Exceed is fine, let's do the charts tomorrow, but Exceed is looking like a long position to take. Might be I'll take it in futures and next month, but even this month is like this. So next month, if you're seeing, there are positions here, so but we might not get these prices, of course, right? Cool. Next trade is BIOCON. BIOCON bullish, but short covering has happened, and then short build-up has happened here. But when it comes to what made the long build-ups here, let's see that. Not a good trade, I would say. Not a good trade, right? Not a long build-up trade, but let's see what the charts are also saying. Volatility is immense, so not going to enter. But ultimately, if you're seeing here, right, it is taking a support. It has taken already a support here, and it is supposed to go up, and it is also taking support at the EMA. So it has to be bullish. It has to be. How does it has to be? And if you're seeing here, there is a formations of okay, this is a clear straddle which is being formed here, and also there are puts which are been already sold here, so it can be something like this. But ultimately the prices are really, the premiums are really cheap because of the time left in this month. There are literally 15 days making these money is like cool. But let's see. It's BIOCON, then Hero Motoko sucks, and it should not be bullish, it should be bearish. I won't even go with that because I'm personally losing with that trade. Not trade, actually long-term investment, but so I'm not caring about it for some time. Why Hero Motoko is because of the valuation which I'm getting, and being a market leader, that kind of valuation is like pennies. This is granules. Granules says it is long build-up, but okay, if you are looking into this and 2 hours chart, it had some build-up, but that is broken again. It has to get up from this level, and here it is neutral, not bearish, not bullish. It's completely neutral trade. So it can be somewhere like this and this. So granules, usually what can happen is exactly the present position should be a straddle position. Let's see. Okay, at the minute. Granules was actually shorting, right? There was also this was supposed to be shorted. This is okay. Then here comes three exciting things. Now three. Again, I made a video, but I didn't invest at the time. I'll make one more video why I have not invested in Naukri. It was not just because of Naukri, it was of multiple other factors also. Naukri is at a good price back. It was already at a good price, but the fall was really good and got it at a sweet price here. And then HDFCAMC. Have to do more research on this. Yet the company overall PB ratio right now compared to the premium valuation, it looks good, but it can be bought in a better price because the trend is down right now. So let's not take this as a serious trade, but once this breaks, so it has already broken here once with a huge volume. So this gives us a indication कि chance तो है. So here it is again, this is a new trend which has been forming at a support, and usually what happens is if it breaks, it can give a good return. So waiting for HDFC AMC at a good price. Again, this is REC is not a good trade. It is basically a dividend based stock, so you can just invest and forget because you keep on getting investment. So if someone wants a risk free stock, here you go. I mean, nothing is risk free, but dividend yielding stock would be a good thing when the PB ratios are really good. And seeing the new price and the up move, so it is a start of a new trend which might go up. It's market, so there are a lot of things. So here we go. That's it, guys. That's it for today, and it has been an extremely long video. No one watches this video, this long video. Yeah. And take care. Bye. Ciao. And here you go.